Welcome back to another episode of BC Life. On today's episode, I'm metal detecting an early 1800s farmhouse. This is the first coin I found on the property. We're going to be looking at this together. I don't know what date it is yet. Looks like it might be a 1926, maybe 1920. Doesn't have a mint mark on the back. We're on the board for silver. Sweet. This is my second good find out here. I got a 1925 wheat penny. You can see the date pretty clearly. You can't really see the 1 cent on the back too much right now, but that can always be cleaned up some. Hopefully I'll be able to show you this later in the video. I don't know if I'm going to get to keep this, but it's still a good coin, still a good find, worth recording. Today, me and my dad, Silver Santa, we ended up going out to an 1800s property. From what we were told, it was an early 1800s property, and the area had a lot of history. Well, here's some of the better finds. I ended up digging up a 1920 Mercury Dime. The interesting thing about this, it was the best coin of the day, and it was about 6 inches down. I almost didn't dig it because it was just so deep. But I ended up getting it up and everything, and I was very happy to see this come out of the hole. First coin I dug, and it was pretty deep. The 1925 was my second best coin that I found. And then I found the my dad found the 1935 penny here. Those are both wheat pennies. And then the reverse of the Mercury Dime. As you can see, the Mercury Dime doesn't have any mint mark on it, so it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. And then we got a 1956 wheat penny. We got 259 memorial cents, which was the very first year for the Lincoln Memorial Cent. And then I have these coins organized by date, as well as the era. Like, this is the silver era. 1964 was last year for silver, so that's kind of how I'm going to be organizing them. My dad ended up digging up this old buckle. I thought this is kind of cool. He ended up digging up a square nail and part of an old toy cap gun. And then I organized this by copper. Prior to 1965, he still had copper as well. But 64 was the last year for silver, so they used copper all the way up until 82. And partway through 82, they went to zinc. So these are all copper pennies as far as pennies go. You can see the dates that I got. I'll just move across. These are both me and my dad's finds here. We got an old Sunoco token from the 70s. I'm sure that might clean up a little nicer then. We got an old button, and my dad dug up this old toy car. Okay, and then for the newer stuff, my dad found a nickel. He ended up finding a pinpointer pen. I'm pretty certain that's what this is, because it does come open. And the You can see the ink cartridge in there still. So that rang up on the detector pretty good. We got 2 zinc pennies here that don't have any dates. We got a 1985 nickel, a 95 dime, a 2000 penny, and a 2008 dime. As you can see, the zinc pennies, they don't hold up like the copper does. So me and my dad joke around, these we say these aren't even really a penny. We don't even count those as being coins. So those are our best finds. The dog tag, when we were talking to the homeowner, he actually knew the dog's name before we ever even had shown the tag to him. When we said we found a dog tag, he's like, "Oh, that's probably Levi," and he was like saying about how that was the dog that he had prior. He said it was probably hit with the mower once he saw it. I got this little thing here. I don't know if this is like one of those little shot sinkers or if that's a little bell or something. It feels a little too light to be a sinker. So that's why I'm thinking it might be that. But when it comes to the home, according to the property owner, the house that sat next to it, he owns the property that the old house used to sit on. I didn't really find anything over there, but the old house that used to sit over there, supposedly a witch lived in that house. And supposedly the house actually mysteriously burnt down, as well as the old church that used to sit down the road from it. But the townspeople kind of deemed her as being a witch. She didn't like the church. The church didn't really like her. She was constantly fighting with the church. Other than that, that's what we found. We had a really nice day out metal detecting. It's been hot, but we got permission to come back then to the house in the fall when it cools down. So this was a nice day. And okay, for the second half of the video, I'm actually going to be showing some pictures of the relics and everything from the farm that we just metal detected. I'm also going to be showing some video clips of a state park that me and my dad recently visited out in Maryland. We didn't do any metal detecting while we were out there, but it was a very beautiful park. We did do some sightseeing. We did walk around the park. This place, it's very beautiful. It's got a lot of history, and it's just worth visiting. If you haven't been there before, and you're somewhere nearby, I would recommend visiting it. It is Gunpowder Falls State Park. They do allow metal detecting, but you have to stop at the park's office and everything to get the permit. They only permit looking for newer coins and jewelry. Relic hunting's kind of like a thing you're not allowed to do there. Relic hunt, they try to preserve the relics within the state of Maryland and everything. Unless you're with an archaeological group or the what you call it, the National Historical Society or whatever, you're not supposed to be doing relic hunting. So we're probably going to go out there in the future to look for modern jewelry and coins that are lost. It seems like there's a good bit of people that visit some of the beaches and that out there. So I could imagine, or would imagine, there's a good bit of stuff that probably gets lost. You'll see the clips here. There are beaches. The water's beautiful. It's not really like the beach that we saw wasn't really like a sand beach or anything. It was more of like a creek bed, but there wasn't. It was pretty clean. There were kids actually out playing in the water. If you haven't been there before, I would highly recommend visiting it. So
one that goes that way and there's one that goes this way. My question is, why would you build this right here? Since there's nothing else here. You wouldn't come here to have a picnic.
Oh, it looks old.
Now, was this the inside of a cabin or is it an old part of a park?
There's a lot of trash in there. Some old plants. Pointy. Whew. Okay. Just walk through a spider web. Doesn't look too deep at all.